Welcome back to the show. It's Coach UV, and I got a juicy, jam-packed video for you tonight. If you've been listening, if you've been watching, you know that we directed the SPY move last week, and the banks are buying video. So, hope you guys make some money, but guess what? We have more work to do. That's right, we have economic data next week. We have more earnings. So, I want to prepare you guys watching. That's right, whether you're new, intermediate, or advanced. I want to prepare you for the following moves. That way, you guys have a game plan. So do me a favor, if you get any value from these videos, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Why don't you? That way you don't miss any valuable drops. We want to push these videos for those who care and need this content so that we grow together. So before we get any further, I want to go ahead and give you a quick recap, and enough of the intro. We're going to get straight to the video. So let's check out these previous content and see where we are with it. All right, here we go. And we are okay. So I am looking for these highs to be retested. Wall in 680. Now there are people who are long in the market. Price breaks out of this range here, you want to see price go up towards the upside, and it typically mimics this same leg towards the upside. All right, and we are above the 21, so the probability of that happening is likely high. All right, I'm going to stop that video right there. As you can see, we had some continuation. All right, let's go to the charts. Let's check out SPY so you guys are not confused. All right, now before we do that, check out the monthly time frame. We have the range here. Okay, we are overextended. Right, doesn't mean that we have to fall. Check out these notes here. Guys, take your time, because we're going to go to the 1 hour, and I want to show you exactly what happened last week. All right, remember that we just said that we could get that bull flag measure move towards the upside. So let's check the charts, right, and see how that worked out. Bear with me as I navigate this screen. Okay, guys, this is the SPY on the 1 hour time frame, and we're going to check the price action. We're going to see exactly what's been happening. All right, so right here, we're dealing with this area here. Okay, we're going back in time. My previous video that the banks were buying. Okay, what do we notice? Okay, right in front of you, you see. All right, this area here is the area that I was pointing out. All right, we had our V bottom right there, of course. All right, and just a screen. Make sure the screen is good enough for you guys to see. Okay, now we also have this flag here, and remember we said that we wanted price to break here, and we said that the entry was going to be the engulfing of that red candle. Well, we got that. Right, and we went all the way up as high as 690. All right, that was a week ago. So if you took that trade based on the level, you would have made money within that the first couple of days, first couple of weeks. That's how this works. Okay, and let's be realistic. Like, this is on the 26th. All right, the 26th happened, and the move lasted for 2 days. So you could have made a almost $10 move, almost an $8 move within 2 days. All right, that's the power of the technical patterns and the setup. All right, so, and where are we right now? Now let's double back to the monthly time frame, guys. Hope you've been enjoying so far. Right, see, the accuracy is not from the guessing or the gambling. The accuracy comes from being properly prepared. All right, marking up your charts, understanding what your edge and what your setup is, because a lot of times new traders come in, traders period, right, and they get excited. We all know that. They get excited. There's different strategies that they chase. They never really stick to one thing. And depending on who you are, it can get really frustrating fast. All right. If you don't have the guts and the discipline to stay in it, you're going to blow an account quick. And unless you're rich, got money that's coming in like that, that's going to burn you out. And so you want to have a plan. And it's not known by new traders that you can establish your own trading terms. Find out what works for you. What's your risk tolerance? All right, how much money are you willing to lose? Do you like fast money, quick money? These are things to ask yourself. Now, going forth for the SPY next week, if you want to make some money, this is what you want to pay attention to. All right, so first of all, Friday was a previous close. All right, that was 691.97. 691.97 was a previous close on Friday. So first and foremost, we want to see price get above that. In order to see bullish momentum towards the upside, we need volume and strength. This is our indication. If price opens up Monday above, if we open up above and we pull back to 691.97, you want to see 691.97 act as demand. Okay, now what else do we have in front of us? All right, this is the monthly time frame. So each one of these candlesticks represents a month worth of time, right? 30 days, 28 days, depending on the month. All right, and since we are in January, all right, February was today, and so tomorrow we will get the actual first candle for February, and we're going to be able to get the opening price for February. Now, that's something that we do not have yet, all right? Now, 6.9 was the current price. Right now, it's the current price for the pre-market, post-market, at the time of this recording, 5:20 p.m., the 1st of February. That's where we are now. Now, we are technically below the previous close. Now, if you've been watching and trading with me, you know one of my edges. We like to take trades to the downside or to look bearish to the downside, because you can make money when the price falls. Yes, you can. We like to do that when we see price is below the previous closing price or the open, which we haven't got yet, right? Okay, and so until we get above, we're still bearish. And so we might have a place of value, but we have to wait for Monday to see if price can get bought up. But I got a game plan for you, don't worry. Now, we need to get below the 5 EMA on the monthly, all right? The 5 EMA on the monthly is sitting around a number around 9. But however, there's also a previous high here at 691.66. All right, now this is a previous high. And the previous high just means if price breaches it, right, which we are below it at 690 right now, we are below the previous high, then we could see price fall and see some pressure go towards the downside, but not to get overly bearish, right? The higher time frame is showing bullish. Guys, think about it. We are bullish overall. All right. There's no need to say, hey, we have to crash, we have to fall. Nobody had to say that. It can happen. We've seen that. But right now, we don't have that just yet. And so we got to be patient. Remember that the previous high was 691.66, and it has been breached. All right. So we're going to see downside from now, but watch for traps, i.e. the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. So let's go ahead and go down to the 1 hour. All right. Here is the 1 hour time frame. Make sure you guys can see the screen. Now here is the trading plan and the trade setup. Get your notes ready. Grab your notes, because this is going to be very important, okay? Now we're going to take off these old markings. We want this to be very clean for you guys. All right. Make sure that you are either screen recording or taking notes. All right. Now, we already discovered that we had a bull flag here, okay? We know that already. Last week we had a video, we talked about it, all right? That's over with now. And we also said in that same video that price would be accepted here and profit taking would occur, and that we would fall back down, all right, towards the downside. And we're right there right now. So what's next for us? What's next for us? Now, realizing this one thing, okay? This is still a bullish market as far as the direction. We already see that on the higher time frame, okay? We see that on the higher time frame. Let's go ahead and get to the 1 hour. Now, if you see that, of course, the direction, we are going up, right? Right? We are going up, right? Okay. Now, right here, apologize for that, guys. I'm trying to show you guys something. Okay. Now, let's pay attention to the move, okay? Now, we already see that we have a W shape here, right? The bearish try once and try twice. What you want to see the bearish try to take price lower. Okay, you want to see the bears try to take price lower just so we can trap them in. And I'm going to show you the technical setup. We got a parallel channel. Now, what typically happens is you have the bears, right? They're mistaking this for a different direction, for a downtrend. But like I said, we're in an uptrend. Remember, a uptrend right now, okay? So let's say bears try to get the price here, okay? You want to try to grab a trade right here below these prior lows here, all right? Even right here, okay? You want to try to grab these prior lows right here, all right? Why is that? Because you have a previous range here, okay? Ranges act like magnets, right? And if this is not technically a bear market, you will have some people trying to short a market when the higher time frame bias says bullishness right now. Remember, the only way that we're not having shorter term momentum to the upside is if we open up below these closing prices, right? And we continue down here. But this is where the traps lie, because if we're still bullish, right, and we're still holding above 89, 69, these areas here, we could fall all the way back down to fill these gaps, okay? There's a gap all the way to 681, all right? But somebody couldn't be mistaken, like rookies, right? They don't understand that we're in a bull market. So we get all the way down here, right? And they decide that they want to try to chase. And so you want to be real specific with the type of pattern, all right? In this case, we like the 2 try failures. And we're going to take this line off here. Okay, let's take off this line, all right? Now, you see a technical pattern here to trap in the bears. Now, typically you get the second move, but you want to see, just like here, a V bottom, right? Just like over here, See this V bottom? What'll happen is that price will fall, okay? It'll fall down here, okay? All right, and we have our parallel channel, right? We want to catch those prior lows, those prior swings, okay? We want to catch those prior swings, and we want to take out those orders, okay? Because there are technically orders sitting right there, and you want to know what they are. You want to know what those orders are, all right? Okay, so what typically happens is once the bears try to short the market, got one try and two try fairies, okay? Now what does this mean? This means that the bears or the rookies, they thought that we were going to fall all the way back down here, but they actually get trapped here chasing price, and liquidity gets grabbed here. They get stopped, and we want to try a technical pattern. One try, two try. You already see that pattern before. It happened here, okay? It already happened before. It happened right here, and it's typically trying to happen now. But you want to try to trap them in, let them try once, let them try twice, all right? And then you want to use their fuel towards the upside, which is right here, all right? The stops are below up here. You want to run those stops. Once those stops get ran, you don't want to chase, all right? Price breaks out, pulls back, breakout, pull back, and it needs to hold here to continue towards the upside, okay? You get that slow grind, but you want to catch the parallel channel. You want to catch the moves, right? Once price goes, right? You want to catch the moves back, right? The pivot moves here, right? So let's clear the chart, right? Now, why is this important? It's because people are not looking at the fact that if we're going up, right? And we have that 10 o'clock, right? So that means from 9:30 to 10 o'clock is a 30-minute time frame. So right here on the 30-minute time frame, where you have the volume point of control tells me that we are accepting value above this node here, okay? And so there's a chance that price gets down here within this range, and it could get bought up. So again, to reiterate, price comes down here, all right? Rookies mistake this for a bear market. They get trapped, and this thing can sometimes just zoop right back up here, okay? Just to grind higher. This is what's going to happen, guys. I'm telling you, I've been doing it too long, and I'm telling you that the high time frame is bullish, the smaller time frame is a little bit bearish. But this is the technical setup that I'm looking for. All right, you don't want to get caught chasing ever. All right, so let's say price does get up towards here, right? The point of control is sitting right here. Point of control is sitting at 696. You already see that this is resistance before. That's why I put that line here. Price could fall back down because there's going to be somebody chasing, right? But we need to finish the swing. It's all about pendulum swings, guys. Remember, we have pendulum swings. Remember that Pac-Man thing that I gave you before? All right, pendulum swings. It's just a range of emotion. All right, ranges act like magnets. Okay, price goes in between this megaphone, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, this is what we're dealing with, and you want to be the one catching these pivot points up towards the bottom. You want to trap it in. These are technical patterns. All right, so listen, if you've been enjoying this so far, you guys, do me a favor. If any of this is confusing at all, whether you're that person or the second person that I named, I want you to think about this. There's a place for you. All right, right down below, I have a free trading course for you if you want to get familiar with trading and get a footing around these terms and just to hone in on what it takes to really be successful at trading. Take that free video course down below. It costs you nothing. Most people that I know that take that course, they end up making money within the first week, first 2 weeks, a couple of months. All right, so do yourself a favor, take that course, all right, and then come back to the video and see how you feel. All right, leave any comments if you have any questions. Remember, I talk back. All right, this is the unique trading group where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. So let's trade simpler. That's what we want to do. We want to trade simpler. So enough of that. All right, so now that you guys understand where we could go, remember, you want to look for that opening price. We could rally back towards the upside, or we could take a dump here and try to fill these gaps. But I will be looking for some buys, and depending on the news that comes out, that's what we want to be waiting on. Speaking of news, tomorrow is the 2nd, and we do have that PMI number that's coming out at 10 o'clock. So be wary of that. Price is going to react off of this data when it's released. So if you're scared, stay out of the kitchen. All right, try to be in position and or just watch. 10 o'clock, price is going to do something, especially on the SPY, the entire market. All right, and we're trading the SPY and the Qs, so be prepared. And the rest of the week, we do have more data coming out. Red Star photo news is going to be hot, and even though we don't trade at 8:15 in the morning, some people do in the futures moment, right? The futures market. So that non-farm is going to be a big deal on Wednesday, Thursday, we have more news, unemployment claims. We got the bank rate. And of course, Friday, we have the non-farm unemployment change. And we have more PMI and the prelim UOM consumer sentiment numbers. So Fed Jefferson is going to be speaking. You already know that we have the new Fed members in office that just got appointed by Trump. So be expecting some volatility, guys, and heavy earnings. Earnings are going to be a part of the plan as well. And as you can see, we have the fear and greed index. This is sitting at 58. A little bit left from last week where we were sitting at neutral. All right, now we're at 58. And we got some mixed signals, man. Got fear for the market momentum. Extreme greed, which is a bullish indicator, stock market price, which makes sense because we are bullish overall in a high time frame. But like I said, privy to pullbacks. Stock price breath sees that greed, and when people are greedy, you be fearful. These type of things you need to know. This can mean that we can have a little bit of pullback. Basically mixed signals, especially with the put and call ratio. We are at extreme fear. This thing can spike and we can fall back down, creating more bullish pressure, but we are overextended, I would say, on a high time frame. All right, let's go ahead and get over to the Qs. All right, same thing with the Qs, looking similar to the New York Stock Exchange, but just slightly a little bit overextended as well. We have the same type of pattern here on the 1 hour time frame. You can tell that we are overall in a bullish uptrend on the Qs, but it's also showing some signs of bearishness. And so I would be super cautious on trading to the upside with the Qs. I do see some fall pressure here on the Qs, especially since we have Tesla going on. But I will be wary. I will be looking for maybe a 10, 15, 20 point drop possibly on the Qs. Sorry to say that, but it's looking slight different from the SPY. So you guys want to be mindful to maybe wait for price to get above the 21 here on the 4 hour time frame, to wait for trend, to wait for price to curl back around the same way it did here, same way it did here. All right, you're not going to get the swift bullish engulfing for one candle sometimes on the Qs. Price kind of just shoots up and it gives you what it's looking for, just like right here. Not a bullish engulfing. We accept price, we got a V bottom reversal. Accept price, V bottom reversal. Bouncing off of the Bollinger Bands. Bouncing off of the Bollinger Bands. And now in the Qs, we are below the 21, below our monthly price movement range. And so we can see some continuation to the downside on the Qs. So you guys be wary of that. All right, now I want to show you guys Tesla. All right, it's a lot of confusion, a lot of talk going on, a lot of controversy going on with Elon Musk and or the stock. If I may say so myself, I've heard a bunch of things pretty disturbing. I won't get political here on this video. This is not what this channel is about. However, we do get busy on the chart. So we're going to do that and give you quick insights on Tesla. Right now, it seems as though Tesla is also on the NASDAQ, and we just spoke about the Qs seeming like a little bearish. And it does seem that way here on the 1 hour time frame. Now we are stuck in the middle of a range. We've been ranging on Tesla within a bigger range. We've been ranging, right? Price accepted before here. All right, but we've been falling for quite a while as well. All right, and if you could look on the higher time frame, on the monthly time frame, what you see is, okay, this is a very this chart is very tricky, and Tesla is very volatile, and you don't want to chase it, right? Are you buying shares? This is the question to ask yourself. Are you buying shares, fractional shares? Are you buying leap options? Are you trading the options? Are you day trading Tesla? You can make a lot of money doing that, but you just want to be careful. It's all about location. Now, if I wanted to get into calls on Tesla, I would want to buy above the 21 at demand. How we went up from there? I wouldn't want to buy at the top. When you buy at the top, price falls. Possibly what's happening here. Same thing happened here. Traders getting trapped. When I see this, it means trap money. It's time to get paid. See the wick? Start rejecting. We're going back down. All right. Just so we can reset right back to where we were again. All right. Found a double bottom here. Acceptance. Get above the 21. We fly up. Price get taken here. There's a lot of profit taken. And we get right back here again. All right, now where are we now right now with Tesla? I would take my parallel channel, connect it to the 21, catch the top of that wick here. We started from this pivot point here, this candle here. All right. Now what is it telling us? Right now we are extended away from the 21. Okay, and most of the time when we are extended away from the 21, if we don't accept price, right, there's a chance that we could fall back down, but right now we don't have that. But we want to see if price opens up below 430. We will see Tesla falling into the 420, so you guys get prepared for that, right? The volume profile on this monthly time frame says, yep, we have to stay above 430. If Tesla cannot get above 42, we will continue to see downside. If it acts as resistance, we will continue to see downside, and I mean in a major way, especially here on the monthly time frame where the low is 414. So we can revisit 414, 400, and if 400 convincingly fail these numbers, we will flush hard to fill these gaps in the extend zone here, just to retrace back to 340. It could get ugly here. Don't quote me on that because Tesla is volatile and there's a lot of buyers here, and so you want to be mindful of that, all right? But we are seeing momentum slow down. Possibly there's been some chasing, all right? There's a lot of stuff going on, so be careful trying to trade Tesla on an intraday time frame and not understanding the higher time context, all right? That's what you want to understand. Right now, the higher time frame says bearish. Now, on a smaller time frame here, on the 1 hour, we have a D-shaped volume profile, which means that we have an imbalance of a market. So price gets bought at the extreme where the low thin volume is, all right? And price tends to act like a magnet towards these prices here. And so we can see a bounce here. Now, this is interesting because on the 1 hour time frame, we are a little bit above the 21. So we have mixed signals here. See, just like the SPY, it's just the opposite. On the SPY, the higher time frame was bullish and the smaller time frame was bearish. On Tesla, the higher time frame is a little bit more bearish than it is bullish, but on the smaller time frame, we have a little bit more bullishness as far as the picture that's being painted here on this smaller time frame. It's not all bullish, right? Because we do have these lower highs. This is a high point, and this point is lower than these highs and this high as well. All right, but we don't have lower lows, and so that means that pressure is building up. Pressure is building up, and that's what we have here, right? Pressure is building up on Tesla. So I would not take a trade unless we stay above that 21. Like I said, 21 EMA is sitting around 431.24, which would be an early entry. Remember, if price is below the closing price, the previous closing price of 430.41, I'm more bearish than I am bullish, especially if it acts as resistance on a pop up. We want to fade that pop. All right. But if we get above 430.41 and it can holds convincingly, that happening for me is a sign for me to maybe trade some momentum back towards some of these extremes towards 440 and 450. That is what I'm looking for. So you want to see some volume come in. You want to see the bears losing it, all right? And you want to see the bulls picking up and stand above that 21, 430.41 to watch. All right. So guys, listen, that was it for my presentation. We'll double back to the SPY. Like I said, you guys be careful. I am waiting for some pullbacks, but I am bullish. All right. I see some bullish setups also on SPY. So this is going to be the main trade that I'm going to be taking. Remember, price needs to open up above 691.97. Right. Remember that there is a W shape present. Okay. Let the bears try once, let them try twice, right? W, once, twice, all right? There's your one and your twice. I know this is your first time hearing it. If not, it's all right. But the bears are trying. When price does this, that means 1, 2. Somebody tried to take it down further and they failed. They tried twice and failed, all right? Right there is our moment to buy. Let me show you what I mean. Right here is your moment to buy, all right? That's where you buy at. You buy at the failures. All right, look at that, 1 and 2. You want to buy those, okay, to try to trade towards the upside, okay? Why is that? Because these are technical traps of liquidity. There are stops. Somebody putting a stop loss right here, okay? The stop losses are right there. There's a stop here, okay? And we want to run those stops. That's what we want to do. We want to run those stops. Bear with me. I want you guys to see what I mean here. All right, use them as fuel to the upside. That's what you want to do. You want to run those stops. This orange line represents where the stops are, okay? And so once that price breaches 694.95, you can bet your behind, all right, around these areas, all right? Price can explode towards the upside to kind of retest these highs up here of 697, okay? Can we go further? Who knows? But if I'm in calls and I'm taking my money right up here. If I'm making money, I'm taking it at this point, and we'll see what happens from there. But we are making a W shape. We do have earnings, so it could be some surprises. It's going to be a very volatile week, guys, so just take your time and be patient, all right? Make sure that if you take a trade on any chart, all right, any chart, if you're taking a trade on this bar right here, this green bar in front of you, if you want to enter into a trade on this green bar, make sure that you put your stop below it. You want a 1 bar stop. You want to protect. You want to put it right here, right? And as price moves up in the direction you intended it, you move up to the next one, lock in your profit. All right, as it moves up even more, you lock in your profit. Okay, all right. It's not, if it breaks below, you get stopped out, but it's getting right back to that point again at these same orders. And I want you guys to understand the mechanics behind trading. All right, not that hard. All right, but expect some volatility. You also have a bunch of earnings that is coming up next week, so I don't know if you guys really like those, but you might want to check those out. All right, we have Palantir Monday. We got Walt Disney, the Simon Property Group, real estate stock, right? Tuesday we got AMD, PayPal, Pfizer. You got the CPRI, the Capri Holdings, and Eaton. All right, Wednesday Alphabet and Uber. We got Snapchat, and we also have ABBV. Thursday, Amazon, the mighty Amazon, right? We have GoPro, MicroStrategies, MSTR, and we also have February 6th, Friday, we have Biogen, and we have Under Armour. So it's going to be an interesting week, I would say. So you guys get ready, man. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far. If you didn't catch anything, rewind to catch it. You can watch this as the market opens up tomorrow, and all week you can watch these videos to get a feel for what's happening live. That's what's so good about them. That's why I give you guys different scenarios to protect yourself to the up and the downside, to notice patterns. All right, that's why I do that, and I will leave you with this here.
Coach UV is one of the most best kept secret trading coaches in the world. Subscribe and see for yourself. Let the proof begin in the link below.
All right, guys, listen, that does it for our video. I hope you guys have been enjoying. Again, I am Coach UV. We like to trade simpler here. This is the unique trading group where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. And if you guys have been enjoying, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Consider sharing it with someone you know might need it, all right? It helps the channel and we can grow together. Thank you guys for your time, for watching. I really, truly appreciate that. It means a lot to me and my family. So, hope you're getting some game. And remember to watch out for those next videos I got. That February trade signal is coming. So, don't miss out on that, all right? Until the next time, guys, you stay blessed out there and you stay intact, all right? Stay safe. Enjoy the snow. If you got snow around there, right? All right? Until the next time, guys. Peace.